You know, humans used to live on the surface of the earth. Well, it's a pretty obvious place to live, really. But just look at us now. We seem to spend most of our time in dingy, dark basements underground or swaying about in huge tower blocks. Well, apart from a few scabby pigeons, it's most likely you'll find the wealthiest people living at the top of these steel and concrete towers. People rich beyond their wildest dreams. Mind you, it's a bit high for window boxes and a long way down to walk the dog. And far away, all the way down at the bottom, you'll find people poor beyond their worst nightmares. What's that? I dropped one of my earrings. Could it be? Oh. Mirror, mirror framed in gold, in your depths a story hold of how a boy found ways and means of getting rich on old baked beans. What?
Presenting a winning animation from the Kellogg's Magic Mirror competition.
Jack and his mother were poor. They lived alone in a basement flat. Behind the flat was a tiny yard, and in the tiny yard they kept a cow called Milky White. The sun always shone in the tiny yard until a giant building was built next door. It was so tall that the top of it was always hidden by clouds. It was so tall that it blocked the sunlight from the tiny yard, and the grass no longer grew. Then one day, Jack's mother said, "There's no grass left for Milky White to eat. We can't afford to keep her. So while I'm at work, take her to the street market and try to sell her." "All right." Long before Jack reached the market, he met an old man.
"I'll give this to the beans for your cow," he said. "They're magic beans."
Well, magic beans or not, it was a giant tin, easily enough for 2 meals, thought Jack. Besides, it was still a long walk to the market. "All right," he said. And sadly, leaving the cow with the old man, he set off for home with the beans. "Well, what did you get?" "Beans!" "Oh, idiots!" "Oh." Jack was sent to bed without even a bean for his supper. He woke early the next morning. He was hungry. "I could eat a whole tin of beans," he thought. But outside his window, right there where the beans landed in the tiny yard, was the tallest, strangest bean plant he'd ever seen. "Wow! I'll climb it!"
This is the news headlines at 6:33. The police are looking for a robber. He's said to be in his 40s, 20 feet tall and green.
Jack climbed and climbed, past all the windows and into the clouds. Above the clouds, the beanstalk ended. Wow! And so did the giant building. Oof! A tall woman answered the door. A very tall woman. "Can you spare a piece of toast for breakfast, please?" asked Jack. "My husband will be home soon. He eats boys like you for breakfast," said the woman. "But I've climbed a long way," pleaded Jack. "And I haven't eaten for ages." "You'll have to be quick then, or you'll be breakfast." But Jack had only taken 2 bites when...
Fy, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
"Ah! Quickly, hide in the oven. There's no one here but me, dear." Through the glass oven door, Jack watched the giant eat his breakfast and then begin to count the gold he'd stolen in the city the night before.
1, 2, 3.
As quick as a flash, Jack jumped out of the oven and, carrying as much of the stolen gold as he could manage, he hurried down the beanstalk. The people were so pleased to get the gold back. They gave Jack a big reward. Hero Jack spent it all taking his mother on a trip around the world. But when they got back, they were just as poor as before. So Jack climbed the beanstalk again.
I really shouldn't be doing this. The last time you were here, some gold went missing. If my husband comes back, he'll...
Fee, fi, fow, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be ye alive or be ye dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
There's no one here but me, dear.
Then cook this for dinner.
I'll get a saucepan.
Time to get out of here.
Where's it gone?
The hen was no ordinary hen. It laid golden eggs. Jack and his mother were no longer poor. The hen lived happily in the tiny yard. But one day, Jack thought he'd climb the beanstalk just one more time.
Fee, fi, fow, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be alive or...
Yes, yes. Well, dear, if he is here, he'll be hiding in the oven. I'll switch it on, and you can have him for breakfast.
Look what I found.
Lovely, dear.
Play.
But luckily, Jack had not hidden in the oven this time.
Watch out!
And that is how Jack saved the city from the terrible giant. The old man got his heart back, and Jack and his mother and the magic hen lived happily ever after.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. Grind these bones to make my bread.
Oh, so much for the ogre, but what about his poor wife? I know he wasn't exactly Indiana Jones, but she must have loved him once. Still, she's come back down to earth now. Probably see her in Wogan one of these days.